I hope I'm sharing my screen. Cool. Let's do control backtick, npm I, of course, right? Install it first. And npm run dev. Cool. This is our to-do list. Let me inspect it first, console.log, and put it down. Just in case we would like to see something else. All right, so let's see this one. What do we have over here? Cool. So input group to-do list reactive to-do. I see that everything is done bootstrap. So I think we did a lot of bootstrap for this guy. Public, no, next HTML. Or we installed the bootstrap. So React strap and bootstrap, yes. And in the main JSX, I'm just confirming that this guy is here. Everything should be good to go. All right, so let's bring it back. So first thing, let's just do components. List input group text. Did you guys work off of this one, or you guys did class? This is not a class component. Which class component are you talking about?
First time when we start doing the React, if you remember, we start with the class component, class constructor, and all this stuff. So we did the to-do list with the class constructor first time when we started learning React.
But
And then
I did, yes.
Last time when we started learning the use reducer, you start to changing class constructor. In our last class.
We converted the class constructor to functional. Is that the thing?
Yeah,
No.
we converted the class constructor to the like changing it to with the converted to the use reducer. Yes, like
Azamat, you don't have this to do in the functional component. We only had within class component, right, Dawood?
yes, we already did it like with the class constructor first time when we started learning with.
So when we did with the reduce, then you started to change the class component. So that's why we got confused.
Okay,
Because we already forget.
That's fine. I think we can work on this one. All right, so let me grab this guy to you guys and share it to you in the chat group right here. All right, it's up for grabs. Okay, you guys can definitely grab it. I think we can definitely add updating the local storage for this one too. So let's talk about updating. Let's talk about updating maybe like object. We're not gonna work on array of objects, right? So we'll talk about something like this. So in my README, not the README file. Let me see. Trying to get the other to-do list, but that's fine. So what we are going to do in here is that we're going to have to-dos. Okay, we're going to have to-dos, and to-dos is going to be an object. Inside object, we have one, and maybe text to do one, right? And completed is going to be false initially. And we're going to have multiple of these like this, okay? Basically, this is what our to-dos will look like. But before we do that, let's come up with our single to-dos. Okay, so button, save, edit, blah, blah, blah. So this list input group. So this list right here is basically my one to do. If I save it, it's going to be to do 1, to do 2. If I do it again, okay, this is how it goes. These are in my individual to do. So basically, I can grab this guy and put it in its own single to do that JSX. In here, RFC, and put this guy into right over here. But of course, it's going to complain about this list, blah, blah, blah. So what I can do here is come back here and grab these guys, put it right over here. Okay. Yeah, everything is here. But here, I'm not using these lists. All right. So inside my main, I will have single to do like this.
Mm-hmm.
So if I add multiple to do, it's going to be look like this. Now we all agree on that, right?
Yeah.
Single to do. I think list is the parent, I think. All right. So let me go back here now. One second. So I will just take this guy out of here and grab this guy, okay, and then put this guy right over here. And right inside, I have to put these guys inside. And it's complaining that I don't have list. Let's grab the list. Yeah, it looks much better. All right, so the list is basically UL, right? UL li. In the other case, we were doing like UL li. There was only one li inside, okay? But this input group and everything over here, input group contains my want to do.
And why you decided to do with the list, like to be there?
Oh, this is directly from React strap. Open up a React strap, okay? Let's take a look. And if I take a look in the list, right, so basically one of these guys over here, show code, includes list.
No, you decided to put the list in FJSX. You just change it. Why you decided to put the like list component outside of like a single to do?
Oh, I see what you're saying. So as I said, single to do has to contain these guys, right? These are the individual to dos. What I can do here is that I can grab the whole main, right, and put it into its own component like a to-do list.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
we can definitely do that, but yeah, we just need to take it out of its own component and put it in there.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Cool. So now come back over here. Input group, list, single to do. Cool. So let's see what we have. So for this input right here, we can definitely start with adding a new input. Okay. For this input, what do we need for this input? We need the value.
Yeah.
And we also need to put on change.
On change.
And right over here, we can definitely just take this one outside and constant handle input change is equal to handle input change. And we can just grab this guy and put it right over here. And we know that this guy has an event.
Yeah.
And constant value, can grab it from e dot target dot value. And if this value, okay, handle input change, if this value, the trim, because we need to trim it, okay, not equal to empty string, then update the value. So the value right here, for now, we can just use state, constant input val, set input val. And I want you guys to decide which one is better for this one, okay? Is it better to use ref, or is it better to use state? What do you guys think?
Since you put the on change there, you have to use state, I guess.
The thing is that every time I type something in here, right, I'm updating my input value. This is what I'm doing. If it's not empty, then update my value. Right, update my input value, and I'm putting my input value over here. Now, this right here inside console.log AA, for instance. Okay, what's not defined? State. Okay, so it's not importing it. Yeah, grab it from thing. So if I type something over here, right? Every time I type it, I'm re-rendering my component. Every time I re-render, all of these guys will be re-rendered. I think it's better for us to use what? Use ref. Yeah. Okay, because we don't want our component to be re-rendered. We want when the thing is ready to go, and when we click add to do, it will add to do to our to-do list, and then our component will be re-rendered.
Only after we click add to do, right?
Only after we click add to do button, yes. Okay, so what I can do here, just delete these guys, and of course we need to create what? Constant input val, or just input ref. Use ref. Okay, or just put null initially. Okay, and I will grab this input ref and put it right over here as a ref. Input ref. So handle, let's just change this guy. Handle add to do, right? Handle add to do.
Then we don't need the event here, right?
We don't need what?
Event anymore.
We don't need any. Yeah, we don't need. I mean, it has event, but we have nothing to do with the event for the button. Okay, so for the button, on click and handle add to do. Now inside this handle add to do, what we can do here. Oops, I should have just kept the console.log. Okay, so we're gonna say input ref dot current. Right, input ref dot current. So if I click add to do, input ref dot current is the input 2 right here. Right, it's referring to this guy right here. Now if I do input current dot value, right? So if I type a to do 1 and add to do, input ref dot current dot value, state it might be different with this built-in components for input. If I had regular input over here, and if I had ref, okay, input ref, let me just eliminate this guy for now. Yeah, that's how it looks like, right? So if I type something like to do 1, add to do, you see that right here? It's displaying the to do 1. But because of the fact that this input ref is so this input component, it's a component. It's a good ready to go component. It's not the regular input to tag. All right. So when I put input ref for this guy right here, it looks nice, but in the meantime, if I type something else and to do, somehow it's not displaying the value that I'm entering over here. I'm not sure what this one refers to though. How do I get the value out of it?
I think after current, we had to put something, no? Like a value maybe of the current?
So input ref input ref current is referring to this input right here.
Yeah,
So basically before it was referring to this one. Now, if it's for referring this one, usually we get the value as current that value, just like e dot target that value.
yeah, right.
Okay, e dot target that value. How about we just change it for now, this guy, and eliminate this guy so that it's not gonna be a blocker for us. All right, so it's not gonna be a blocker for us. And if I type something over here, clear my console and click. Okay, so I didn't type a value.
Mhm.
To
Oh,
do, this is my value. All right, so current that value is the value that I'm entering, but this one in this case is just a regular input for us. This at this point, this component, right? Component input that we are grabbing from component list is not working for us. And it's coming from this guy right here, input group. Show code, right here, this input, right? Inside over here.
so why is not?
I don't know. I have no idea why it's not. That's a good question though. Let me
Maybe we have to put also type text for that component.
I don't know what we have to put. Like it's referring to this guy right here, but somehow we need to grab the value, and I'm not sure how. Ref is not working for input from React.
No, I mean for the input component from the bootstrap. Don't we need to put
Yes.
the type text also?
No, we don't have to. Right
No?
here. It doesn't have it right here. See,
Okay.
input placeholder username, you can definitely put that. Input placeholder. Not necessarily, we don't have to put type text or another information.
Okay.
See, input is just by itself.
Yeah.
And this is right here. It's referring to this one. To the left, and input is right here. Okay, ref is not working. React ref using React step input module doesn't have value. What? Oh, use inner ref instead of ref with your input component. Oh, interesting. Let's try that out. If it works, hey, kudos. Okay, I will just remove this guy right here. Refresh. Am I getting value? Yes. 2D1. Yo, look at that.
The word inner ref?
We're back in the business. Yep. It's not ref, it's inner ref. That's what they say over here. So I think they have some sort of documentation for that. Ooh,
That's
page not found. Thanks, this works. Changing my code to input inner ref, this that test, default value, this is default and change, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, cool.
That's crazy.
It is crazy, yes.
Azamat, are you also learning?
I had no idea about this inner ref yet.
Yeah,
Seriously.
you know, teaching benefit.
I am also learning, yes. We'll keep it in the
Wow.
documentation. Cool. So now we're good to go with handle add to do. And somehow we need to add this to do into our list of to dos. But of course, this guy right here, right, the value, constant that value is equal to input rep that current that value. If value that trim, yeah, we should have kept it not equal to empty string. And what we can do here is just add this new to do to the list of to dos.
Creating new object like a.
We can definitely do that. Yes. So constant to dos is just an object. Now, right over here, of course, we have to create new ID first.
With the random number?
Yes. For this one, actually, for this one, I would like to use UUID. What am I doing? I would like to use UUID. You guys remember the UUID, right?
Yeah.
NPM.js, UUID will create a new ID for us. So npm install UUID. Right, it will install the UUID on here. The use case is for this one is just grab discovery here and put it right over here in any places. Okay, and then invoke discovery here. Come over here, constant new ID is going to be UUID.
Maybe it will be just
okay,
ID.
so new, sorry, that's the new is the keyword, yes, new
Yeah.
ID. Sorry about that. Yep, you're right. Constant new ID is going to be new ID. Okay, and it's going to be to-dos. New ID is going to be course object, right? So new ID is this guy right here, and as a value, we're going to put an object. The object will contain the text, okay, and the text will be just the value. Oh, sorry, and completed is by default will be false for all of them. Okay, false for all of them. So if I bring this guy back and the to-dos, we'll see if we are adding new to-do.
Can you
So
write
let's
to
just
two?
what?
Can you write to do two next time?
Oh yeah, right here. To-dos like this. Where is to-do two?
No, I mean when you write to do 1, 1, 1, so I want to see the difference.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so yeah, this guy right here, I need to just remove these guys. So there's oh, I see what you're saying. To do two, okay.
You need
To-do
to do.
What to do, right? So to-do is right here. It's an object. Inside object, we have very long ID for our first to-do. And then we have the value is the text and completed. Now that's to-do two. Okay, that's to-do two. All right, so I guess we can just delete this guy for now. Okay, how can I map through this object? Do we know?
We can turn to like use the entries like we did like past.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's gonna be object dot entries, okay, and we can put to this over. And now, what's gonna return this one?
This one gonna return the array.
Yeah, so array, and at the same time, every single value is an array.
Yes, and then value and key.
Yeah, key and value. Yep. So it's gonna be something like this. So it's gonna be array, but array we have also array. Each item is an array. Each item will contain key value, right? So the key is the ID of the to-dos. Basically, these guys right here. This long ID of the to-dos, and the value is the object itself, right? This object right here. The value. So this is how it's going to look like. So we can map it, and so right here I can put key.
Yeah, right. Key and value.
And value. So now I have to do it arrow, right? Arrow function. Cool. What is it complaining about? Unexpected. Did you mean?
Comments?
Is it about the comments?
I don't know. Oh, now is it good?
Yeah, I think it's about this guy right here. So yeah, it has to be like a parenthesis, right? For the arrow functions. Inside the parenthesis, we have, yeah, I think this expected to be like regular parentheses, not the brackets. But yeah, so what we can return here is the single to do. All right. For the single to do, we know that this key is actually, we can change it to to-do ID, right? To-do ID. The key is the to-do ID, and the value is just the to-do value, maybe. To-do value. Now this to-do ID can be set as a key for this guy, okay? And now we can pass this to-do value, right? We can pass it to the value. There's multiple ways we can pass it to the value, right? Let's just try to pass it like this. And you guys know the difference, okay? So, did we have any issues clearing our input before? Input ref, that current. If that one, then this one. Okay, so right over here is equal to empty string. Yeah, there we go. It's clearing it right now. So input ref, that current, that value, empty string. Maybe instead of input ref, that current, that value, we set it as initial value as null. Oh yeah, we need to keep it like that because I don't want to set it back to null, and it's gonna be null, and we'll try to edit a new one, and it's gonna stay as null, right? If you set it as null, back to null, input ref, that current null, then you will basically remove this inner ref, and if you try to add a new one, it will not see the value anymore. But of course, we have to just reset the value back to empty string. So right over here, we can add else part over here and alert the user to type text in the input box. If it's not, if it's empty string, right? So if I click add, type a text in the input box, or if I do space like this and add to do, it's trimming it, right? It's trimming it, so we're good now. It's trimming it, but it's not putting it back.
Can we put after empty parentheses like in an empty string dot trim also?
Empty string that trim?
Now, like at the end when you like update it to the empty string, when you click to the bottom.
Yeah, right here. So
No, like yeah, in a 30 line 30.
yes.
Can you also add like a empty string empty string dot trim also? Just wondering, is it work?
Okay, so in line 30 value dot. Oh, are you talking about this guy right here?
Yeah, something.
Trim? No.
That's look weird, but who knows?
No.
It is not working since it only belongs to the true, not for the else. Yes, do like this.
Oops.
I just wondering why it's not trimming. Oh no, not update.
It's working now. Right? So I do this one right here, add to do, and if I click OK, now it's back to 0.
Oh,
But
just
if I click to do, yeah, I just took this one out. If it's empty, right? Just in case that we have like empty spaces like this. This one covers both of them. Let's assume that it's empty, but at the same time, it's some empty spaces.
Okay.
Oh wait, did Maksad talk? Oh, he can talk.
Hello, everybody.
All right, cool. So we are able to see our single to do. Cool.
Azamat,
Yes.
we're gonna add the use reducer at the end, right?
Yes, we're getting this.
Just make sure.
Yeah. So this will contain use reducer. Yep. So yeah, handle to do, right? We're gonna dispatch it to add a new to do. Okay. But do you guys want to do it right away? Like, I mean, we can definitely create our reducer over here. So let's do that.
I just make sure we're not gonna do everything with the use state or use ref does.
No, we're good. Hooks. Okay, cool. So this is name it. Okay, so custom JS, right? We started with constant reducer. Okay, it's a function, and we also have initial value. And so for this reducer, we are expecting to have a state. Okay, oops. And at the same time, we have an action. Now we have for this guy constant initial state. Initial state, we're working on the to-dos. Now this to-dos is this guy right here, an object. Cool. So constant use my custom hook. All right, use my custom hook. And we had constant, of course, we're gonna have a state at the same time, what? Dispatch. And we're gonna use reducer. All right, use reducer, and we will be using reducer function that we created over here. At the same time, initial state right over here. Okay, initial state right over there. And from this callback, sorry, from this custom hook, we can just return our state and dispatch. Let's just type it as export constant use my custom hook. Let's talk about this reducer. As we said, we're going to have a switch, and we're going to have for each case. Okay, we're going to have each case. Now, each case, what can be the case for to-dos? What did we do last time? Add new to-do. All right, so in the action will bring the type, and the type, based on that type, we will add new to-do. Just tell me what else do we need to do? Add new to-do.
Save to do, edit to do.
Wait, edit to do.
Save.
Delete to do.
Delete to do.
I think a save would be like setting the ID, right? Setting the ID of the to do.
Yeah.
Complete to do. Right, we're gonna have a complete to do. When we click the check mark, it will change the to do complete status of that to do. Complete to do. Cool. What else?
I mean, using the ID for the like comparing like disable or active input. Are we gonna put it at the type or no? Change to do. I don't know. Change
I think
ID.
yeah, change to do edit ID change maybe. So when we click edit, let's see if I can. So yeah, whatever.
Toggle like a true false.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. When I click edit button in my to do, it's basically I'm updating the ID. Okay, and I'm based on the updated ID, we're changing the what? Edit mode. Basically, we're changing the edit mode. Now we also have the text change, right? So we are in the edit mode, but we have to consider the fact that we're changing some text for individual to do. In that case, we have to come back and based on the ID, we have to select it and change the text. So this one will be
the save to do.
Save to do, yes. To do. Let's just change to save to do. Save to do. Edit ID to do maybe. If everything is ending with to do, let's just keep it consistent. Edit ID to do.
But we already have edit to do, or is just the ID?
Yes, set edit to do. Oh, yeah, you're right. So edit to do. Yeah, I guess we don't need this guy right here. Okay, edit to do should be fine. Delete to do, complete to do, save to do. Yep, I think we're good. Save to do will. We're good.
Yep.
I have a question, Azamat.
Yes.
For example, when we use the useState, useRef, and all this like functionality, we always doing it in a parent component, like for example, FJ6, right? And why we separating useState functionality in a separate component? Is it how it's supposed to be? Why we're not putting like our reducer in FGS6? How we're using the useState and all this stuff? Useref. For example, you can see useref here. I have handle todo here. All functionalities here.
Yes.
But why we're creating the custom? I mean the component like separate.
We don't have to. Yeah, we don't have to. So use callback. We don't have to create it. So the thing is that I just want to isolate this whole code inside in a file, in its own file.
Oh, that's it, right? It's not how it's supposed to be,
No,
right?
that's it. So what I can do here is just copy the whole thing and put it right over here, and I can use inside my FJS. I can use this guy right here.
I'm just the question. We don't need to change anything. I'm just asking like how it's supposed to be. Like it's not like must be, right? Like this.
No. This creating a custom hook is not a must thing. Is that a mandatory?
Okay. Just make sure, like, because last time you've been doing the same thing, so I'm like make sure it's not like how it's like must be like this.
Understood. This way, it's very easy for me to read it because it's isolated in its own file, and it's just a small piece of code. But right here, I mean, this will get really large, right? So that's why I was just skipping right there. To-dos, I'll just cut this guy. We're not grabbing this to-dos anymore, right? So custom hook and our to-dos will look like this. You know what? Let me put the variables here.
Azamat, I noticed you are only doing this one for the use reducer, creating the custom hook, but for others you are not doing.
Oh, I mean, for useState too, guys, it doesn't matter which one was right here. You can definitely do constant count, set count is equal to use state, okay, and 0 initially. Is it okay? It didn't.
No, I'm just asking. You don't need to do it. I just wanna.
Yeah, so you can definitely do that. So it doesn't have to be use reducer. You can create a custom hook and put everything inside over here like this.
So the only one who gonna be like the universal and can do the boss and the state and reducing and everything.
So the good thing about this use reducer is that we have a reducer function outside of this hook. Outside of this hook. But whatever you use other than that, it has to stay inside.
Oh,
use state, use ref, yep, everything has to stay inside. And all of your functions like handle count, handle increase, increment, handle decrease, they have to stay inside over here because you're updating this guy right here.
Oh, then it does make sense to keep the custom hook here for the use state.
Exactly. Yep. That's the thing about this use reducer. We can extract the code for the use reducer into its own file and just deal with the whole logic inside it.
Okay.
All right. So now use my custom hook. What I can do here, I'll just grab these guys right here and come back over here and do constant state blah, 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 and use my custom hook. I will just invoke it. As soon as I invoke it, it will return back to me what? This guy right here, right? State and dispatch. It will return state and back to me that one. So let's talk about let's talk about this guy right here. Now, this guy is inside my state at this point, right? State.todos. It's not like to-dos, and it's complaining right now. So it's gonna be state.todos. So my state is object right here, and from inside, I'm just grabbing this to-dos. And as we said, this initial state or our state variable over here can get a lot of stuff. Doesn't have to be single to-dos. You can, as your state gets complex, you can put all of them inside this state. So now it's working fine. State.todos were just object entries. So right over here, guys, right over here, I'm grabbing that input ref.current value, which is good. Cool. So here, I don't have to do the whole thing. What I can do here, I can just dispatch it. All right, inside my dispatch, I have to put my action, and that action is an object. Action is an object. And it will contain the type, as we said. Now, what we are trying to do, the type is add new to do. All right, the type is going to be add new to do. And now we can put the value as value. I mean, usually we usually put it as a payload, but it doesn't have to be a payload. It's not mandatory. I mean, this guy doesn't have to be a type, but the documentation says that most of the time people use it as a type, and at the same time, if you are passing down the information or value, you have to type as payload. But again, it's not mandatory. You can put whatever you want, right? So the payload, let's just type this value. And the value will be, oops, no, not this one. This guy right here. Okay. So from JavaScript, if key and value are the same, what we can do here? We can keep it single. All right? That's how the JavaScript works. If the key and value are the same,
Then you
okay.
keep it as single. Cool. We are dispatching the type, and let's come back over here. So now for this guy, add new to do, then bring this guys over here. If the action.type is add new to do, then of course, I need to get this, grab it from here. Whatever I'm not using it, I will just. All right, so I'm using this one, and to do's new ID.
And how is recognized the value? Did you pass the value here?
So yeah, no, this value is from action that value. Okay, action that value, and completed is false. So the thing about this, when we update like this, we are basically updating the state directly. That's not what we want. When we use reducer, we somehow need to return a new object, and that object should represent the state. Okay, it should represent the state. All right, it should represent the state. So now, what we can do here is we have to get the deep copied version of this state. And we know how to do that from our previous classes. All right, so what we can do here, constant new state, JSON parse, JSON unify. Okay, and basically we still need the new ID, and I will just grab this new state, just put it right here. Oops, I did not grab it. So it's gonna be new state.
Azamat, I have one question. You are
Yes.
saying that we are updating directly the state here, but what's the wrong to update directly the state? I mean, of course, it can be like update the whole state, but what I understand that the reason that you copy it, the deep copying the state, because you don't want to update the whole state. You just want to update the part that you need, right? The reason that you're copying they're copying this, like you just said that we are directly updating the state here. That's why we need to copy. We need a deep copy.
Yes.
Of the,
Yes.
the reason that you are deep copying, of course, if you don't copy, it's still gonna work. Our to-do is still gonna work, right? But
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, but you want to do it efficient way, and that's why you just don't you are copying the state, because in the future you want to just update only the part that you want to update, not the whole state, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. That's the thing. So my new state will contain the remaining whatever I have in here. It will contain those values too. If I have products, it will contain other values too. Okay, but in here, I'm only updating. But of course, it's not like new state. I have to select the to-dos too over here. Okay, so new state that to-dos among other values, I'm only selecting the to-dos, and that is an object too. And I'm putting this new ID and putting this new object as a value.
In case of array, we could use a spread operator.
In case of array, yes, in case of array, we could just use the spread operator and put it at the end. Let's say your to-dos is an array, right? And you will grab the remaining to-dos, okay? And then you will put the basically new to-do. This should be an object. We'll grab the remaining to-dos and you put the new to-do.
Since it's like the object of objects.
Yes, but since we are dealing with this to-dos an object, and inside it we're storing every to-dos as an object, and we're putting this IDs to those to-dos. Okay. Also, again, if you don't do this one, then basically we are directly updating it, and
the question is why we wanna do the object, not the array. Based on our experience, the many data are arrays, and inside of arrays are objects. In that case,
it's a time complexity, right? With the objects. For instance, if it comes to the deleting, you don't have to like loop through like millions of data. We'll just select the one that has the ID and directly delete it. Right? In this case, we'll just do delete like this. If I would like to delete the one ID, that's it.
Then with the other data set, the arrays, not objects. Like the products which work with Acelia, or like I don't know, that the movies, all of them are arrays. The most of them.
So yeah, so it depends on how the company is storing their data. If it's an array of objects, then you have to deal with array of objects. You cannot tell them like, hey, why don't we just
Yes, you are right, Azamat. We need to also learn with object, because in the case if it will be API come with an object and we don't have experience, and then we will gonna have problem.
Yes, yeah. Most of the time, the companies will store as an array of objects. Maqsad. In that case, whatever you are working in the products or movie, you can definitely implement that knowledge to those scenarios. But in this case, well, we basically did the both cases, right? We did try it with array of to-dos. Now we're trying with objects of objects, basically.
Aksat, you start feeling how I hate the object. That's why I hate the object.
No, I mean like we worked a lot with the object of objects. That's why I was thinking.
It's so painful. I don't know, guys. Like like from the beginning, it's painful for me. The object arrays is so easy, but the objects is I don't know. Azamat, I have a question about the value. You put the action dot value. How is recognized the value? Can you go to the FJ6? I want to see where you put the value.
Here, yep.
Oh,
So
this is the
this full
action.
object is an action. And I'm selecting the type with action.type. And based on this, if it's matching with the switch, then I'm grabbing this value.
So you
Right?
put action that one.
And Azamat, this dispatch is updating actually the UI, right?
Dispatch is dispatching the action to the reducer, and the reducer function does this logic inside the switch, and it is returning the next state. And based on the next state, right, the UI will update. So when the next state returns back to the state again, now we run it again, right? The re-render, our component will re-render, and now our to-dos will have the next state. Say state that to-dos will have updated data, and that's how we re-render our data.
So dispatch.
So dispatch is returning the value. Oh my God.
Dispatch is supplying the value from here. When you
Okay.
dispatch it, you are invoking a function, and this dispatch will hit, right? This dispatch will hit the reducer right here. And when it hits right here, it will provide this dispatch will provide this object to the reducer as an action. Now basically this object is this action right here.
Mm.
So this object right here, when we are dispatching it, we're basically providing this action right here. You can do the same thing right here, guys. So I will cut this one out. I will do constant action is equal to object, right? And then I will just provide this action as an inside dispatch. Basically, I'm dispatching this object. This action is exactly this action right here. Console.log action. Right? Console.log action, add to do. Oops. Yeah. If I type something, add to do, we basically right here. See that right here? That is referring to this action right here. So the type is add need to do, and the values whatever we are passing.
So in a nutshell, that dispatch a function that to send an action to the reducer to trigger state change.
Exactly. Yes. That's how you can summarize it. Yep. Dispatch is a function that takes an object, right, and pass it down to the reducer. When it passes down to the reducer, basically whatever we are passing inside the dispatch will come over here as an action.
And then if we need to loop, then we'll have to loop the state.
And yeah, and then based on the action, you can change the state, this state right here.
Okay.
Right? You can change this state. So in here, it's an initial state or previous state, right? So once you add new to do for this guy right here, for this case, this state will not become initial state, right? Because we already added. So it will become previous state. Now, whatever we are returning out of this any case, it will become next state. Whatever we are returning out of this any case, whether it's add new to do, edit to do, blah, 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 whatever we are returning, that's the next state. Next state and basically updated state, okay? But every time we hit the dispatch, we are passing down this state and action, and this state is previous state. Or in the initial value, it's an initial state. But in the next consecutive triggers, basically it's a previous state.
Azamat, can you please scroll down a little bit?
Yes.
Here they use my custom const. Can you please explain line 43? I just make sure I understand it correctly. Explain this line of code. What came from like what? Like here. State in this page is coming from the reducer or?
It's coming from use reducer. So this is built-in hook by React.
Yes.
And this, just like we have a constant, give me 1 second, guys. Constant count, set count, use state. Oh, sorry, we are expecting 0. Just like this is also comes from React itself, okay? So this will take initial state, initial count, and it will return, as a result, this function will return under the hood. We don't know what's doing, but it will return this count and set count.
Yes.
And now we are using this count inside our components. Every time we trigger the set count, we are updating the count and we are re-rendering our component,
Right.
right, with the set count. But if you did without this React, if you did some custom function by yourself on the over here in a different file, then set count will just basically update it. It will not trigger re-rendering, right? But we know that because of the fact that it's coming from your state, every time we hit the set count, it will trigger re-rendering of the component. Same thing, use reducer, it's custom hook, it's a hook, built-in hook comes from React, and it says that it will take reducer function and at the same time initial state. Initial state is basically like 0, okay? But in this case, we're taking object.
Right.
Now, just like use state, every time you dispatch it, it will trigger, basically it will pass down the data or the type of the action that you are triggering down to the reducer function. Now, reducer function comes over here and goes from top to bottom, and it will return something. Doesn't matter whether you are using switch with the cases or if-else statement. It will return the next state. Once we return the next state, in the initial rendering, this will return initial state. Right? Now, state is initial state. But every time we dispatch some action, reducer will return the next state. And reducer will return the next state. And now this state is updated state, and it will re-render our component, and we will use the next state that to do's. Again, somehow we triggered somehow we dispatch it again. Again, reducer will run its logic inside, and it will return the next state, and our component will re-render. That's how the cycle goes.
The question is, why is that to this that I saw that state it's already like the main objects, with like different to this, but you are using state that to this.
Yeah,
Can you
so
the
this
state?
is the state, right?
Oh, it's because we have the count and products, you're doing that to this.
Yes, this
Oh,
is the state. Yep.
Can you scroll up a little bit? Once again, okay. So we have a state in action.
new state
It's
that
our initial value. Then action, it's action. What is the action again? So state is our initial value, what we're changing every time. In action, we're just putting, okay.
Action is the object. Inside the object, we have type and the value or payload, whatever you would like to name it.
Okay. Oh,
The dispatch has to invoke the action, right?
okay.
The dispatch is passing down the action right here, right over here. I put the action as a new constant variable, and I put this object in here. Now, when I'm dispatching, I'm basically dispatching this action. And this action is basically pass it down to the reducer function, right? That action was passed down to the reducer function right over here. Now, reducer function, as we said, based on the documentation, we didn't put this kind right here, right? Based on the documentation, React says that this reducer function should accept a state and action. And this action is coming from dispatch. This action is coming from dispatch.
But can you go to the app J6, please? But you said, for example, somehow they recommended to use the payload and the type, right? So we
Yes.
have to put the payload. Can you put the payload and then value?
Yeah, of course. If I put payload value over here, now I have to use, grab this one. I have to use right here, action that payload.
Payload, right? Okay. Just make sure we use the key as a action that, okay.
Yep.
Azamat, I have a question about the initial value. Can you please scroll down?
Initial
The count and the products. So you added this one, it's only to make it more complex.
Yes, exactly. We don't have anything to do with this one, right? I just added the additional stuff.
This is how usually that work. We use reducer, then when our initial state has not only the objects but others like count, the products, and etc. Right?
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Use case. Okay.
Yeah, for this guy, we'll have, for instance, edit ID for this project. Okay, we will have to-dos and edit ID. We will have two state inside our initial state, and we will use both of these guys inside this to-dos application. But these guys are just additional stuff. Additional stuff, and this additional stuff will be included inside this new state. But we're updating this whatever the to-do we have, updating, or we're just adding new to-do inside this to-dos, and the remaining will stay. The remaining state variables will stay inside this new state.
And new state is have like a totals because of line 7, right? We parse it and signifies the initial value state there, like and put it inside of new state, right? That's why it's
Exactly. This new state that we are parsing and stringifying will contain everything right here.
yeah, right.
Will
Okay.
include every single thing. But from
God.
there, right, we're selecting to-dos right over here, and we're adding a new ID, basically adding a new to-do like this with the new ID.
Right. Okay.
Now we have to return new state. Now this new state is updated state. Okay, so let's refresh. Okay, so to do one, it doesn't matter. We actually will put, okay, to do one.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it will put the to do one, to do two, because I didn't change my single to do over here. It will just manually adding it over here. Where's my to do one?
Okay.
Oh, right here. The value is to do one. Every time I did something, but it's adding, okay? It's adding new to do, and it's updating our reducer. Basically, it's updating our state variable over here.
Now I have complete picture what you're doing after like you explain all this stuff in like we have a cases, so we're gonna like update in everything. For example, we have edit, to do, delete, to do, and we're just gonna for case for the example edit to do, and then we pass like whatever we're doing with the edit, like right?
Yes.
In that case, yeah, I agree. It's make more readable. Okay. Oh, okay. I got it.
But Azamat, I appreciate your patience. But why? Yeah. The to do.
Bring it in.
Okay.
Hey, I'm
just
ready
give
to
me
answer any
one-
questions, guys, as long as you
One
guys
second, okay. What I understood is that, okay, we have a dispatch and dispatch gives the action.
Yes.
And then action will, its action is actually, can you go a little bit scroll down?
Yes.
To reducer and reduce return to state.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay. And then state is actually what, yeah, okay. But when it comes to what this to do is like initial state, okay, I understand. It's kind of like actually 0. Let's say it's 0, it can be different, like it can be.
Oh no, here's the thing. Initial state right here, console.log, okay? Initial state is basically this state right here. Sorry. Okay. Refresh. If I refresh the page, the whole thing, initial state contains everything. Count, edit ID, products, to-dos, everything that I put right over here, initial state. Okay?
Now
So,
it's
okay, so now count 0, product. Inside my to-dos, I don't have anything right here, just empty to-dos.
Oh, okay.
Right? So now if I add one to-do right here, let's say AA, add to-do. Now initial state, see right here, initial state count 0, edit ID null, product 0, but to-dos change it right here. Now to-dos, I have ID and I have this object right here because of the fact that we are doing some logic right over here. Now, initial state, it's not initial state anymore. It's updated previous state. It's updated state, okay?
Initial state is updated state, okay.
Right now, it's updated state because it's we added new to do inside.
Okay.
But initially, everything is 0.
Okay.
Right? We don't have anything inside these guys. But then, since we added new thing, it's going to become updated state. That's how the cycle goes. We dispatch something, basically we pass some sort of action to our reducer function, and the reducer function will run the logic inside it. and it will return the updated state. When we return the updated state, right, basically we have updated state, excuse me, and we return back to our app.jsx, and it will re-render our component. When we re-render a component, this is how we are seeing the result over here, right? What to do now? We are adding more stuff right here. Now, initial state contains 3 to-dos. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We are only updating to-dos because our logic is working for only to-dos. Inside this switch, you might have other stuff right here, like another case for add new products. Okay, that's gonna work for these products. In that case, you just need to put the same logic maybe, but for the products.
And in every function where you're gonna create in the app.jsx, you have to pass action with the type and payload, right? Like you did.
Exactly. Every time we need to dispatch something, we have to pass type or payload.
So it's
right?
gonna recognize
Not,
that, right? Or you
not
gonna
all the time, guys. Not all the time. Right? So sometimes for the count, right? If you had a count with a set count, you only need like the type is increment count or decrement count, because we don't need to pass any data to the action so to our reducer function. We pass the data to the reducer function so that we can do something with that data. In this case, we are adding a new to-do.
So it's not always, it depends on the situation, what you're gonna, okay.
It depends on the situation, exactly. Dispatch, the type is going to be, is going to be increment or increment count, or just increment. We're not passing any value, or because we don't need it.
Yeah.
I think you guys are good with this object. I will just put it right inside. Dispatch, type add new to do, and we're passing the payload. Right, and in here, we're just adding new to do. A new state will contain the remaining values from here. Cool. So let's try to delete a to do. Now again, with this delete to do, we have to pass what we need to pass? An ID based on the ID, right? Based on the ID inside our action, based on the ID, we need to delete selected to do from our thing. Come back over here, and everything is working inside our single to do. Now let's just go back to our single to do, right? We're grabbing to do value, single to do, and right over here, we're receiving the text and completed. Okay, we are receiving the text and completed. At the same time, guys, since we're going to be using our dispatch, we have to pass our dispatch down. Okay, we have to pass our dispatch down. So it's going to be dispatch action, dispatch.
By the way, Azamat, why
Yes.
you spread the to-do value? Since I remember that before we just pass a props like to-do value, it's the same. Like to-do value equals to-do value. And then that prop will be used in the single to-do.
He structured it like I think in a
This
text
is
is updated there. That's why he used the spread it here, right? Or no? I don't know.
What did we change over here? Okay, so let me just save it right now. So the question is to-do value.
Yes, you are spreading the to-do value. Before we did like just to-do value equals to-do value.
Yes.
This is curly parentheses, yes. Now you are spreading it the same. The logic is same.
No, it's not.
Copy.
So if you are passing It's definitely related to the props, okay? But if you pass, let's try it again. Is equal to like this, right? When this one goes down to our single
I
to-do,
guess I understand it.
yeah, single to-do over here. Now my props will
Dot.
contain. The props is an object.
Yes,
Inside it, I
contain
have
everything.
inside I have dispatch action. At the same time, we have to-do value, and this to-do value is an object.
Yeah.
It will contain like text and completed blah blah blah. Okay.
You're directly passing the text and the complete.
Yes, but when it comes to my spreading it, when I spread it, I'm just pouring the contents of the object into this props like this. Now in this case, I'm going to have text, and I'm going to have a completed false like this. I will not have like this. Okay, spreading it, we'll put it like this.
Okay. Good.
All right, so it's going to look like that. So I need to grab this dispatch action right over here. Cool. So at the same time, I also need to pass the ID. Oops. To do ID. Why do I need to pass this to the ID? Because every time I click this delete button, when I'm dispatching it, I have to pass, right? I have to pass my ID with the dispatch as a value. Right? You guys will see the difference now. So as I said, I will grab the ID. So now for my delete button right here, I will have on click, right? Anonymous function. And here I will just dispatch. Dispatch action is exact same thing, right? Is same dispatch. I'm just changing the name over here, dispatch action. And I need to pass this object to this dispatch action. Inside my object, I'm going to have a type. What's going to be the type?
Delete to do.
Right here. We'll just copy and put this as a string. Okay. And now is an ID. Yep, I will pass this ID right here. Again, you guys can definitely put the payload or ID, but again, when it comes down here, inside this, as soon as I hit this guy right here, I can find my ID as action.id. It's up to you guys as you put the action.payload, whatever you wanted, that's fine. But you can change that the action, right, this action object based on the type of that action. It doesn't have to be payload all the time. Right here, we're going to use payload. Right over here, we can definitely use the value instead of payload, etc. All right, if you like to keep it consistent, let's just use it payload. So now I'm grabbing payload ID. Yes. This completed text, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the text is going to be right over here. All right, and the completed part, we're going to work on that completed part a little bit later. So right now, dispatch action.
In just you forget to comment out that spread one.
I did, yes. Thank you for that. Cool. So when it comes to the delete to do right here, not confirm, console.log.
Action.id.
This is just the C action by itself. Refresh the page. I have to add something first. Add to do. Yep, it's adding right now. We changed the text. Oops, EE, add to do. Yes. So now, yes, as soon as I click this delete, cannot read properties, unquote type error. So when I click delete right here, I still have to return a state. Let me just return the state by itself. The state, I'm not modifying anything. I'm just returning the state by itself right away. Let me remove this console log, guys. This console log is bothering me, this guy right here. Cool. Let me go back. Where am I going back? Right here. Console log action and just return the state, the previous state as the updated state. That's it. We're just not doing anything else. ET Yes. www. Yes. Delete. As you guys can see right here, the type is the delete to do, and the payload is the ID of the to do. If I click this to do, it's different ID. Right? 33, and this one is D87. Now we're selecting it. Cool. We are definitely selecting it.
Can you please go to the single to do once again? I just want to see what you just put the dispatch on click and you type by ID. Okay. Okay. Got it.
Payload is the ID.
Got it.
Cool.
Actually, dispatch you gave somewhere else, right? You gave us an this dispatch. Can you go to single to do? Or
Yeah.
here you gave already. Okay, not here, but because the names action comes from the somewhere.
Oh yeah, the action name is right here. Delete to do. Yep.
I guess she's talking about that FJ6.
Yeah, can you go to UpGSX? Because the name you gave somewhere inside the
It's from one
here, dispatch. Yes. Okay, dispatch is actually just giving the order.
the line 10. This
We
one
are
comes
assigning this dispatch function to this function right here. We're just
Yes, of course.
and I'm using this function inside my to-do over here.
Mhm.
This dispatch action is the same function as dispatch. We're just assigning
Of
it.
course, yeah. It's the same, and it gives the action, and action will
As we said, dispatch action will pass down.
execute
down.
actually, right?
Yes, this action object will be passed down to our reducer function right here. Now, this action is the same action as we are passing down right here as an object. And when it comes over here, based on the type, we find this guy right here, action.type, because we are triggering that one. Delete to do is exactly the same as delete to do right here. Now, when we trigger it, we're constant logging that action right here. Okay, constant logging that action right here, and somehow we need to return the next state, but in this case, we're just returning this state. So it's going to be very easy to deal with it to do, right? So right here, I need to get the new state, right? And now what I need to do here, guys, is delete from JavaScript, right? New state is an object. Inside it, I have to select this to-dos first. Okay, I selected it. Now we know that how to delete an object, a value from an object. We just need to put ID. Now in this case, the ID is action payload. We passed as an, did we pass in a payload? Yes, we passed in as a payload. So action.payload, and now we have to return new state. Right? We will return new state now. So, and if I click delete, that is gone. If I click delete, see, that's gone.
Nice.
Good.
Right? Delete 1, yep, delete 2, yep, delete 3, yep, everything is gone.
Oh,
But you said that can you go a little bit? Can you scroll a little bit down? Yeah, but initial state here was like to do's, and each time what we write, it comes to the to do's, right? That's why you are mapping that. Can you go a little bit up? Yeah, here like new state dot to do's.
Yes.
Idea. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Are we good, Aziza? I think you are struggling right over here. Right? So
Yeah, I have a question, Azamat. Like in the future, I understand that to do is gonna work in the both way. So which one is mostly used at work? I mean,
to this?
yeah, like user use reduce or use state or
I'm writing delete later, but I've never deleted any of this. Okay, so let object one. Okay, so let's just put as initial state. Okay, I have to-dos. Now this is not count 0. From when I say new state over here, I'm grabbing this new state. Okay, but I have to update this count only. What I can do here is initial state dot count and do plus plus. Right, I'm only updating this plus plus. Okay, at the same time, if I would like to put a new to-do inside my to-dos, now initial state, same thing, initial state dot to-dos. Okay, inside my to-dos, I have to put like a text, for instance. Text is equal to value 1. Log initial state. All right, so now I have count, which increases by 1, and count increases by 1. And at the same time, I said initial to-dos that text value 1, and to-dos contains to-do value 1. All right, to-do text value 1. But instead of this text, I would like to put some sort of 1. I cannot do that like this, right? Can I do it?
why not?
Good question, right? Okay. As you can see, this has to be a text. You cannot put a number like this. Unexpected number at delete later, blah, blah, blah. You see that right here? Unexpected number. It's complaining about this number. If I put 1, it will definitely expect it like this, right? It will work if I put 1. But because of the fact that I'm putting 1, it's not accepting it. But how do I put 1? How can I put 1? The second option would be, sorry. Right? The second option would be put this one as inside the bracket. Right? Inside the bracket. Now to-dos will have 1 as an ID, and inside the 1 we have text value 1. If I would like to put another one with ID 2, now text 2. So in here, guys, in here, instead of 2, what I would like to do is let new ID is equal to 2, and I'm putting this new ID inside it right here. New ID, new ID. This is what happening right here. New to-dos at to-dos, new ID, and I'm assigning a new object right here. This is the whole thing is happening right here. Instead of a 2, I'm creating a new variable, and I'm putting this variable name right over here and the value. Save it. Save it again. Now to-dos will contain a 1, 2. Right? There is no difference if you put as a new ID or you just put it right away. This is what exactly happening. We're creating a new ID and we're selecting the to-dos first. And from to-dos, we're generating a new to-do and putting this as a value, this object as a value.
Because a new state, you copy it. Yeah, it's not an original one, right?
Where? New state?
New state, the line 7.
Yes.
Because it's not the original one, you copy it, right?
Yes, that's a deep copy of the
deep
previous
copy,
state.
yeah, okay.
Again, if I do without this deep copying, right? If I do state that to-dos,
Directly update the
directly updating it.
So you are avoiding actually to update the whole state. You just want to update the what you want. For example, completed or text, it depends, but
Yes.
only.
Yep, I'm only updating the to-dos because and this remaining whatever inside it, will contain it, right? It will be there. So right here, I'm only updating new to-dos object, and I'm including putting new to-do inside it. But I still have inside my initial state, I still have count, right? As you can see right here, the count is 1. I still have that count. I'm not doing anything with that count. Same logic over here. This new state contains every single thing that I have over here. And this line right here is selecting the to-dos and adding new ID with this object right here. And I'm returning this new state.
Okay, because new ID is generating your unique IDs there already in line 8.
Yes. All right. 6:39. Do you guys want to take a 10 minutes break?
Yep.
Let's do that. All right. Are you guys here?
Yep.
Cool. We can keep going on this one, right? Excuse me. So in the case of, we have another option to update our state if you don't want to do this one.
What do you mean?
What we can do here is that option 2, we definitely need this. Okay, we definitely need this new ID. Okay, what we can do here is return a new state. And I would like to grab every single thing from the state.
Oh, like you already showed us before.
Yes. Right?
Taking the new value.
And now I need to go inside to-dos. This is where I'm adding inside my to-dos. Okay. Inside my to-dos, I need to grab every single thing from my to-dos. And now right over here, I can put this new ID. Okay. A new object. New object is basically whatever we have inside it right here. All right. It's doing the same thing. So inside my state, I'm grabbing every single thing other than to this, right? I will just grab every single thing right here. That's the spread operator. And now I'm grabbing to-dos. Inside my to-dos, whatever I have like different objects, right? All other objects right here. All of them, I'm grabbing it, right? I'm spreading it. I need to keep those intact. Otherwise, if you do this one and only do this one, there will be only one to-do inside this object. I would like to keep the remaining objects, the remaining to-dos that I have, okay? And then I'm adding new to-do. This is another representation, guys, right? You guys can use the same logic for every single thing over here. Well, except this guy right here, right? You have to create a new state and delete that state and then return the updated state.
But actually yours is more, the first is more like readable.
This one right here?
Yeah, because you can clearly see that, yeah, JSON pairs, JSON is like, it's clearly more understandable.
Okay.
Your first is like a lot of spread operator and
I know there's a lot of spread operator when you go inside and inside objects, but this one is just straightforward, right? New state and new ID. Yep. And we'll just selecting to-dos and adding a new to-do with the new ID and returning that new state. Yep, it's up to you guys to use both options. I just wanted to give you guys another look. How can we return a new state? Cool. So we're done with delete to do. And how about this completed? Let's try to work on completed. Yeah, we're going to be doing exact same thing over here, right? Basically, instead of deleting it, we'll just update it, right? Let me just copy the whole thing. Return new state. New state. From my new state to-dos, I will be grabbing action.payload. Okay. Action.payload is basically the ID. And now I'm selecting that ID, right? Based on the ID, I'm selecting that to do, and completed is going to be something, right? So let's just keep in mind over here. Where am I doing my completed?
You have button.
Sorry, inside my single to the right here. So where I'm doing my completed is
Line 16.
this guy right here. Yeah, this whole thing right here, the checkbox.
Oh yeah.
Right? This whole checkbox is what I'm doing for my to-dos. Input add-on.
I saw completed in your FJ6. If you scroll down, you have a button. Oh, sorry, it's clear completed.
Clear.
Never mind.
This is actually very interesting, guys. Let's just go really quick, do this one right here. Right, what I can dispatch over here. Oops.
You need new action type.
Clear all.
Mm.
Okay, that's
Sure.
it. Clear all. I'll just grab it, custom, and right over here, I'll just do clear all.
In that case, you're gonna delete all new state or what? Like new.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
No,
What I
no,
need,
it's supposed to be only completed. This one, not all of them, but
so what I
only
need to do is just
if the completed is
return.
true.
I will just grab the state first, right? I'll just grab the state first, and for to-dos, I will be just running empty thing.
But it was only completed one, not all of them. What if you don't have the completed ones? The completed, if it's true, then delete all the completed true.
This clear completed to-dos. I don't know why I put clear completed to-dos.
Just delete the completed.
I think I was just trying to say delete all to-dos. Yes.
Yes, clear
But
all.
it makes sense. For example, if you finish your to-dos, you don't need them already, you will delete this one. I guess you were right. In the beginning, you need to only delete the completed to-dos. Why do you need to keep the completed ones? You only
Yes.
want to not
In that case, guys, you guys need to find some sort of a looping mechanism, right? Basically, you have to loop through these objects of objects and find the ones that have completed true, and then delete it such like this, delete it.
Yes.
I mean, just by the like, for example, state that completed. If it's true, then just clear it or no, like delete it.
All right. Yeah, so let's just not worry about the whole thing, right? Clear, completed to-dos is the homework for you guys to work on. And for
So
now,
now hits me.
yeah.
Okay, okay, Azamat, can you write something there? Can you write something? Okay, our homework is when we, when we click the clear completed, the whole should be disappear, right?
No, so if it's like this, when you click this clear completed to-dos, it should remove 1 and 3. That's it.
Okay.
Now I will have 2 and 4. That's it.
Nice.
Okay. That's
Still, I
that's
didn't get.
still I didn't get it.
Yeah, but okay, okay, I understand, Azamat. When you click and then delete, it will delete. But clear all to-dos means that you have to.
Yeah, clear all to-dos. It will clear everything that I have on here.
Yeah,
Clear
and then
completed to-dos will clear the completed to-dos only.
okay, okay, okay. Okay.
Okay, so sync custom clear. Okay, clear completed to-dos right here. All right, so clear completed to-dos. Just think about some logic over here and try to clear the ones that have completed. All right, so let's work on this complete to-do. Yes.
Just let's do. I just wanted to say, like, if you leave us something here to make our homework, for example, like,
Okay, okay.
and then if you don't mind, if we have a time to solve that.
Yes, yes. If
leave
we'll have
us.
time, we'll definitely solve. Yep, that's a good idea. I
Thank you.
completely agree on that. Yes. So
Thank you.
again, come back here in the single to do, and right over here, we're gonna have on change and anonymous. Okay. Console.log e.target. Now we know, right? E is over here. Now we know from this checkboxes, right? They are not regular inputs, inputs that we type, either targeted value. We don't do that. What do we do with the checkboxes?
Check.
Either targeted checked. All right. Either targeted. If I click this guy right here, it's true right now because I'm turning it on. If I do this one, it's false.
Cool.
All right. This is what I'm doing with that. So, so now right over here, I have to dispatch it. Let me grab this either targeted checked. Okay. I need to dispatch it. When I'm dispatching it, I have to put object. Inside my object, I have to put the type first. What is the type? Complete to do. Right? The type is complete to do. Now inside my payload, all right, inside my payload, I'm not only passing this either targeted checked. I'm not only passing that. At the same time, I have to pass this ID.
Yeah.
All right. You can also pass this ID like this, or oops, what am I doing? What we are going to do here is that we're going to pass this payload as an object, and inside my object, I will put check it, either targeted check it, and ID is going to be equal to ID. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Cool. So when it comes down to my complete to do right here, I'm grabbing the new state. So basically, my payload contains check it at the same time the ID. So from this new state, since everything is object, right? This initial state is object and to-dos is an object. We'll just go by dots right here. Dot, right? New state, yes. Select to-dos, yes. And based on the action that payload dot ID, okay, I'm grabbing the specific to-do right now. And from that specific to-do, I have to change this completed. With what? Action dot payload dot checked. And I will just return new state. When I return new state, okay, when I return new state, I have to put the check it for here, right? I have to put check it. Now this check it is by default is false, right? Because it's not checked. But when I click this one right here, it will be turned into true. But we want it to be turned on and off by this completed. All right. So checked. Now, let me console.log state.todos. We'd like to see only the to-dos. We don't care about the remaining, okay? Initially, we know that it's empty. Yes, we don't have any to-dos. But if I put 1, now we have 1 to do. 2, now we have 2 to-dos, right? 2 to-dos. Both of them have completed false. But if I click this guy right here, now the first is actually basically this guy right here.
First
And this, yep, the text one is
True.
1. Yes, that's true. And if I click it again, okay, click it again, text 1 became false. Basically, our state variable is working fine. This is completed true and false. All right, basically, we are able to update that thing. All right, I think we're good on that complete to do. Cool. Edit to do. Let's try to edit our to do. What we can do over here.
Like disable it, input in.
So first of all, in here, right? I have to somehow put an edit mode in here, right? Edit mode was supposed to come from here. Okay, we were creating constant edit mode. Sorry, edit a custom variable. If it is true, then for that single to do, convert this edit to save. For that single to do only. If it is false, then convert this. I mean, basically, just to remain put it as edit. Okay. So edit mode. For now, if to do ID, I would like to select. I need to select one to do ID. 2, 3. Oh my goodness! I have to see my state first so that I can select the to do. Okay. So here, I'm grabbing this guy. If this one is this matching with this ID, right over here, if to do ID is equal to with this guy. If to do ID is this one, then I have to pass this edit mode down to my single to do. What I would like to do here for these guys too, right here. We can work with one button, right? Let's just do 2 buttons for now, but we can do only 1 button. So what I want to do here is, oh, no. Edit mode. If edit mode is true, we need to grab this edit mode from the props, of course, right? If edit mode is true, then I would like to see this save. If edit mode is false, right, then I would like to see this edit right here. As you guys can see right here, this ID belongs to this text right here, number 3. And that's why I specifically for this guy, I'm trying to see this save button.
Just because
Right.
you passed the ID
Because because I manually put the ID of that that guy over there. But this ID has to come from our initial state. Initial state will contain edit ID. When I click this edit button right here, I have to come over here and update it, and my new state will be returned from the reducer function. And based on the new state, I will re-render my component, and this state will contain state.id, and I will compare that state.id with this guy right here. All right, so single to do, when I click edit, where's my edit? Right over here. On click, okay. Dispatch action. Type, as always, is going to be
Edit to do.
save.
Edit to do right here. Yes. Yes. For first, edit to do. Okay. Edit to do. And now I have to pass down the payload, basically the ID. All right. I need to pass down the ID. So when it comes down, oh, sorry. When it comes down here, basically action.payload is the ID. And now I have to return. I will grab everything. I will grab everything from the state. And what I'm changing is edit ID. Is going to be action dot payload. Right? So edit ID is among this initial state. Initial state has edit ID. Initially it's null. Right? I'm grabbing remaining values from initial state and updating my edit ID. I'm updating my edit ID and I'm returning a new state. Cool. So now
That
when it
case, we
comes down,
create new state.
No,
Since
he's
we
just
are not updating anything.
no, we don't have to create it because we're not touching anything else. Oh, right over here. We don't have to create it.
But we are changing the edit ID.
Yeah, we're changing edit ID. Yes, we are. We're keeping all the remaining values, but we are changing edit ID only.
So actually, we could use the spread operator instead of new state in the delete one or in the edit one.
For these guys, no, we have to use new state.
I don't get it, to be honest, because in edit ID initially was null, and since we don't want to like change the initial one.
No, we are trying to change the initial value. So initial value was null. Now, based on the dispatch, we're grabbing a new ID. Now I will.
If we want to change the additional one, initial one, so why then we are trying to add the new to do? We are creating new state instead of changing the initial one.
because
We're updating the to-dos in here, but in here we're not updating the to-dos.
he
So,
said
but, okay, we're updating to this, but also here in the case we're updating edit ID. I mean, like, what is the difference between edit ID and to do? It's like both of them are part of
Edit ID, yeah, edit ID is not an object or array. It's
So
not like this.
okay, if it's not array or object, we don't need to create the deep copy of
That's the
our.
thing. Yes. Yep. That's the
Oh.
thing because objects and arrays are what? Reference based, right? Reference based.
This one is primitive.
This one is just primitive. Yes, it was null. Now we're just updating to another one.
Okay.
All right.
Mhm.
Now we're just updating to another one. So now, as I said, as soon as I click edit, now my state will contain new edit ID, right? This state contains a lot of stuff. To-dos, products, edit ID will be the new one. So in this case, I will change to edit ID. Okay, my state contains edit ID. Now save it. Initially, it's null, right over here, as you guys can see it. And now, based on this guy right here, I will put, okay, so let me just click it first. If I click this guy right here, you see right here, the ID change it for my edit ID. This guy, yes, ID change it. All right, ID is changing. So based on that ID, I have to put it right over here, state dot edit ID.
Did not is to do ID equals to state ID.
All right.
What if you just
Right.
do edit mode equals to state ID directly without to do ID?
Is doing the true or false.
False.
If true.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I'm doing true or false. This has to be a Boolean.
Okay,
Edit
okay.
mode has to be a Boolean. So it's based on this comparison, I'm getting Boolean value, true or false. Right.
Okay.
So if I save it, all of them will be edit. Okay. There's not going to be any save because I changed this with this guy right here. Save it. Okay. So it's not null anymore over here, guys. Right. It's not null anymore. If I say refresh it and if I start adding it, all of them will be
Now,
yep, all of them it's null. Initially it's null. That's why none of these is showing save. But in the previous example, I already clicked the first one. That's why it was showing save. Cool. So as I said, as soon as I click this edit, this guy will turn to save. You see right here? Save. because I'm grabbing the ID, and based on the ID, when I'm looping through this, right, when I'm mapping it, and I'm trying to figure out which edit mode will come true. And for this guy, it is true, and that's why this single to do will display this save. That's the only single to do will display save. Other ones will be edit, just edit. If I click this guy right here, right, the ID of that guy is this one, and edit mode is true.
And then when you click save, the edit ID will be null.
Yeah, so for save, we haven't done it yet. Okay, for the save, all right.
26.
Yeah, so it's gonna be so big, guys, right? So instead of this one, how about we just work on single button?
Okay.
All right, so what we can do here is that let's work on a single button, as I said. Wait, let me just grab this guy right here. What I can do here is basically put edit mode.
Mm.
If edit mode is true, then put save. If it is false, then put edit.
Mm.
Also for the color.
Yeah, exactly. For the
Secondary.
color. For the colors right here, for the secondary. Okay, so let me just grab the whole thing.
We did same for the previous one.
Okay, so color is going to be
Well, secondary and primary, or what? Edit mode.
Edit mode.
If it's true, then it's gonna be
edit mode. If it's true, then it's going to be primary. If it is false, then it's going to be just the secondary.
Yes.
All right, cool. It's showing save right here for the last one. And the same thing for this edit to do. Okay, if it's edit mode, then it's going to be save to do. If it is false, then edit to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have save to do, edit to do, and where's our save to do? Oh, hold on again. Yep, save to do. Edit. If this one is false, then we'll see edit to do. All right, and when we click edit to do, it will update. What it to do? Edit to do is just updating the edit ID. That's it. All right, it is just updating the edit ID. Now with the single button, we were able to modify the whole thing over here.
and we can like edit if its edit mode is true, then disable or for the input, I mean, make it disable.
Yeah. Again, the same thing with for the payload ID, guys. The same thing for the payload ID. With the payload, right? When I'm clicking edit to do, when I click edit, I'm only passing the ID inside my action.payload. But when I click the save, right? When I click the save, I should be passing down the updated version of this input right here. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
So that's the value. It will contain the value. Right? So for this guy right here, what I need to do here is edit mode. If edit mode is true, then I have to pass ID with the ID at the same time. Text is equal to it has to be input value.
Yeah.
Right? Somehow right over here, we have to create
So we cannot use the same text.
we can definitely work with the use ref. Now the same text will be change it though. The same text will change it, right? Let's just use use state for now, and you guys can definitely convert that one too. Or if we will have time, we'll convert it to a ref. Okay, set input val is equal to use state. It is definitely safe to use state and on change inside this guy. We're not rendering other child components with this guy, right?
Inside the few states supposed to be the text. The initial text. Oh no.
Oh, you're right. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So we need to grab text, and then as a value, we have to put inside. Where's my input right here? This value right here. Okay, that in this case, it's gonna be a value over here. So for this guy right here,
We didn't need actual this guy, right?
you know what? Let's just convert it right over to useref. Basically, I will just grab this whole thing, put it inside my single to do. I'm not gonna have this thing over here, and we will just ignore this guy over here. Input ref, input value ref. Yeah. Start complaining about that right away. And this guy right here need to have inner ref, right? Inner ref, input val ref. So input, when I click save, right? This guy right here, I will just get the whole thing, guys. I will just get the whole thing and say handle save click, right? Handle save click. Constant handle save click. I will put this function over here. Now for the text, it's gonna be input val ref that the current dot value.
The color brackets, I guess you need after the arrow of option.
Since we are using only one dispatch, okay, so curly braces, this guy right here, I don't need it. No, let's just do this guy. Oh,
Return.
I see what you're saying. Okay, so ID, what am I missing here? I don't have to have these guys. Here we go. Right? This because of the fact that I have edit. Wait, I should have it. Okay, 1 second, guys. What's going on here? Oh, I should have this as an object, right? And as a second value, inside it, I should have just an ID. This is what I meant. When its edit mode is true, basically we're clicking save, right? Save to do. With the save to do, I have to pass ID at the same time the text. But when I click this edit to do, I only need to pass this ID. That's it. Now I have to go update this edit to do though, right? Edit to do, we'll have to have action.payload.id.
Azamat, can you one question? This line 32, sorry, the state you are actually just copying this copying the state, but
Yes,
are
copying the
changing the
remaining
edit.
values. Yep, I'm just copying the remaining values over here, right? So I could have just done just copied the whole thing, right? And in this case, I don't have edit to do. So in here, I'm just copying the whole state and I'm just updating the edit ID. That's it.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
But
Yes. Okay. Then
this way
I,
of the representation is, yep, this guy right here.
I understood the correct then. Okay.
Oh, so now action.payload.id, since we have object and then we're putting ID over here. You know what? You don't have to put the whole thing. You guys can definitely leave it as ID, right? Because of the fact that we are using this ternary operator, you don't have to put like inside the as an object. You can just put ID. If edit mode is true, then send an object. If edit mode is false, then just send the ID. That's it. So in this case, I have to just payload. And again, if both sides are same, we'll just keep one side. Okay, so save to do, edit to do. As we said, input val ref that current that value. Handle add to do, no handle
This one is from FJ6. I guess you can delete it, right? Or you need it.
No, this one is from FJ6. We need it for this guy right here to reference it. So for this one, I don't need these guys, do I?
I'm
Yes.
confused.
What?
That why?
In
Yeah,
the
you
input
the whole,
FJ6.
you copy the whole handler to do
Uh-huh.
and put it inside of single to do. You actually make it the copy of like the function of handler to do. The question is, why do you need one? If
So
you go to
this
single,
input is the exact same as over here, right? Right here. Now in here we had add to do. Okay, oops. Anyway, let me refresh. In here we had add to do, but when we go individual single to dos, we have a save button, right? Instead of add to do, we have save button. When we save it, I'm grabbing the value inside my single to do right over here. So when I'm saving it, I'm basically clicking this save button. So on handle save click.
oh, this one I understand it, but why do you need add to do here? If you go
So
away,
I
this
don't,
one.
no, I don't need it. I don't need it right here. Right? I don't need it. What I need to do here is that I will need to copy this whole thing, put it right over here. Now, when I'm dispatching right here, instead of that dispatch right here, I have to dispatch this guy right here. This is what I needed. So I need to remove this guy whole.
So,
And
can you
they'll
please,
say
okay, let me
And-
just read it one more.
yes.
Okay, input the value, if the value trim, then okay. You actually don't want to type it everything and just copy the previous one.
Yes. You just don't want to type it. I just copy it and paste it over here. Instead of I mean, in here, we're clicking add to do, but in individual single to dos, we're clicking handle save, right? Save to do right here.
And you have to change. You have to change. What is the in the no, line 8 input valref?
Line 8.
The value input valref.
Oh, for the initial value, I think I can put the
No,
text.
line 8. Line
Line
8.
8. Line 8.
You are typing like
Yeah, I
input
see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Okay. Yep. Input val ref that current that value.
instead of text, you can put down just value itself. Not here, line 13.
Line 13. I'm okay. So instead of text.
No,
Oh yeah.
and value here. Instead of input valref, current that value.
You can just write value.
Just value, yes.
Mm.
Delete all this one is.
Oh, since we are doing, yeah, you're right. And sometimes I'm losing, guys. Thank you so much.
Oh, now you can understand us, right? Wait, just copy pasting from somewhere. Just lose everything.
Use ref is not defined. Hate it when it doesn't get it. All right, let's try again. Ooh. So use ref.
That text is from the previous. You put the from the from other parent. I mean from the other input. This text come from the input ref from there. From this input. I don't
No,
know
this
if you
text
guys
comes
can
from
see
here.
there.
This text comes from here.
From here. I
Yeah.
thought this is coming from the
I guess the way the value, can you go back? Yes. So single to do in the value, if you like scroll down, where is the value? No, not here, not wait, you just deleted the value then. The input you input
Well,
you have the
if I
value.
if I put that's the whole point for using the use ref though. In here, we don't need the value over here. You see right here? We don't need the value, we don't need the on change. That's the whole point of not using the
Because
value. The
Yes.
value will be available for us. That's why we are using use ref. The value will be available for us.
yeah.
But the thing is that why it's not updating it. So did we do anything wrong over here? I mean, we should still have a state that to-dos, right? Now let me check. Yeah, so in my to-dos, I have to-do one right here. But when I'm rendering, right? When I'm rendering, somehow my to-dos is not coming right over here. So console.log
Text.
text. Yeah, to-do one and to-do one. As an initial value, we use this text, input val ref. And in a ref, input val ref. Input val ref that current that value is the value that trim. Well,
What if you click for the edit? Just click it, edit.
yeah, so not
Now you can edit, yeah.
okay, so in that case, right, somehow we have to put the
Maybe it's
value.
because you are
If you put it-
cleaning. You are cleaning and then the input value. Can you scroll down? Up.
it.
Can you scroll up?
Yeah.
And then you see input ref current value. Maybe you can delete this one, the line 19.
Yes.
You don't need.
Line 19.
Yes. This
Can
one
you
is
just comment?
Oh, it's from input ref is from previous also. Like,
yeah. I don't know. No. No, I mean like I don't know. Never mind. Never mind. I guess I'm wrong.
The value today I had this problem.
Why is says that I'm not clicking the
because you put the alert there also from
handle save click, handle save click.
It's somehow the cleaning the value, like deleting the value.
Handle
Initial,
save.
maybe.
We're clicking the edit, right? We're clicking the edit. And
but you see that your value you are trimming, it's not supposed to be empty since it's empty.
oh my goodness.
Very interesting.
Very, very interesting, guys. So I think we are not putting this edit mode into consideration when we are clicking this handle save click, right? So we have to have two on-click functions for the same button because of the fact that we are using save and edit for the same button. But in here, handle save click is the button for when we are clicking it, but we don't have save click over here. We're clicking edit.
Yeah, but today I wrote in two function. The same edit and save, but you wrote also only one.
Yeah, I try to minimize the thing, but what I'm thinking right now is maybe we should have two buttons. One for edit click, one for, but that thing is just how about this, guys? How about this? Let's stick with the one function. Handle edit save click. This is gonna be for both instances. Okay, This is gonna
Why
be
don't
for
they want it's empty that why what is the value?
forget about the value now. What I would like to do here, okay, so we'll keep the value over here, but we're not gonna be doing the trimming maybe.
Even if you're not doing the trimming, but initially you are putting the text inside of useref. Why the text is not appearing? The question.
Can you?
Or maybe it's because useref suppose maybe you need to use effect for the useref or what?
The whole thing will be solved if I use use state instead of useref.
That line 6 or 7 now. That useref, you're initially putting the text. What
Huh?
if you put the useref inside of use effect? Or it's not the case?
I
No, I
don't know.
don't.
You're
As-
saying that it's null?
No, if you put null, then it's not gonna work.
Use effect.
Not null, maybe
This one text is changing. And right over here, you're saying input value ref that current, that value is going to be text.
oh, nice working.
Now it is working. Somehow this one should be like use ref, right? We're putting initial value, the value that we're grabbing as the props, and we're putting to the text.
Since useref is not rendering, maybe it's not that why. What's the difference that useref is not rendering every time when you change it?
It is not, yes, no, it's not rendering it. Use effect input value ref that current that value text. And this grabbing the text, and then it's putting it as a side effect.
This use effect is a synchronous sync function, right?
It's synchronous right now. Yes.
Okay,
It's just it will just run when our DOM is loaded. Yeah, DOM is loaded. And at the same time, every time the text changes.
Why do I have use effect here? Why we need it?
Yeah, I also like why do you
Why
use
it's not working right away?
Because useref will not render it immediately. I mean, like, useref is just holding the information but not rendering.
Ref is not, if I put text, basically it's not displaying UI. That's it.
Like,
It's
from
not
the
displaying.
previous input, you mean, right?
Yeah, it's not displaying it. So let's for this example, right? We
Instead,
use it over here. For this individual to do, let's stick with input vals. Okay. So input val set input val is equal to with use state. It's gonna be
now text.
yeah. So
Text
input.
now we can put right inside of use state.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Now we can put text. Okay.
Mm.
Input val is going to be is a value right over here. Oh, it's not valid value. Input val, and we have to put on change.
Event.
Oh, why did I put comma in there? On change and handle input change.
So we need to put the target for it.
Yes, handle input change event. Okay, and set input val is going to be e dot target dot value. E dot target dot value. So now, as you guys can see, it's accepting now.
Yes.
No, we found a bad thing about the use ref now.
So then we need to change line 12. Instead of input val ref, just input val.
Yeah, actually we don't need this one. Yep, the whole thing. So input val, the trim, and we
Oh,
are
yeah.
dispatch.
Yes. But what's gonna be the value in line 15?
The value is going to be input val
Mhm.
because that's what we are changing over here.
So the reason why we add the handle input change, that when we click add, edit, it's supposed to allow us to change it on change. That on change will should come only when you click edit, right?
The on change, it should come on when we click this edit. That's correct. Yes.
But by default, it's supposed to be disabled.
That's a good point. Yes. Oh,
We
it's not
can-
disabled. Yeah, you're right. Yes. So we do have for this input
The
right here, we do have disabled, right? Disabled. And based on what?
Based on edit mode.
Yep. So if edit mode, of course, not
not-
right? Not. So all of them initially will be false and not false will be true. So disabled, all of them will be disabled. All of them are disabled right now. But as soon as the edit mode is true, not true, it becomes false. Is it disabled? False. That one will be turned on. Okay, it's not turning on because we have to what dispatch? Oh, it's dispatch action, not dispatch. Why? Oh, why was being dispatch? Okay, it's dispatch action because we're getting dispatch action. Oh my goodness. Cool. Edit. Cool. As you guys can see, it's working fine. As soon as I said it's working fine, it didn't work fine.
When you save, it's disappeared, right?
Cool. So now, as soon as I click handle save click, what is happening?
Edit.
The payload, I mean, text is supposed to be input value, like initial, no? Also.
I guess you need to check your save to do custom.
So what do you guys think about this one right here? If, oh, what's going on? If, based on the edit mode, if edit mode is true, in this case, we're going inside, okay? And we're checking the if input value. If edit mode is false, right over here, we're doing dispatch action. Basically, there's no edit to do. And we don't have payload. Oh wait, we do have payload. We have to pass the ID. Now, in here, we don't have to use this if else statement. That's what I'm concerned of. But we are using if in inner if else when we are only doing save to do. That's it. So in here, we can just do save to do. Right? That's the whole point. So now if I click this edit to do is not the oh my goodness, it's a string. It has to be a string. All right.
The question is, when you click to the save, your edit mode supposed to be null, right?
Oh, that one, yes, we can definitely change it in our save to do over here. Save to do.
Yeah.
Yep. See, at our
right.
save to do, we can do our logic over here. We can put the the edit ID back to null. Okay, I can put edit ID back to null. Save to do, input val trim. So edit. Okay, so in here, somehow, if I empty it out, okay, and save it, type a text in the input box, right? It's not allowing us to save it without any text. But in here, we don't need that if else statement over here because we don't care about that, right? We are just clicking the edit. But this guy is making sure that we put something inside that input. That's the whole point, right? I hope you guys got this point. So now it is time to work on this type payload over here. We have ID, at the same time we have text. Come over here, save to do. Now action, right? Action contains this whole thing right here. My action is this guy right here. Save to do.
New state now.
Yes, exactly. New state because I need to somehow find update by the reference. What am I updating? New state to do's. Same thing, right? This guy right here. And what am I text it? New state that to do's action that payload that ID, right? Action that payload that ID. And I'm updating the text. And text is going to be action that payload that text. What I'm passing as a text. All right, and I'm returning my new state. Save it.
You also can change the edit ID here.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yes, you are absolutely right on that. Okay, so right over here, I will just change new state that edit back to null. Okay, you are absolutely right. So if I save it, now everything's edit, now and this guy is change it. So click it to do one and save it. All of them are edit. Click it to do two, save it.
Cool.
To do three. Yep. Yep. It's working fine.
Can you please go back to single to do?
Yes, here we go.
Kind of confusing with the else part. When we are saying when edit mode is a false, that this one supposed to work.
Yes, we are only dispatching the edit to the to do, and we're just passing the ID.
So we are passing ID to change that our edit mode for that ID, right? Yes.
Yep, we're just changing it because we have to somehow make edit mode is true or false. Okay, and this part is if we have something inside our input val.
Okay.
So yeah, I didn't want to put this dispatch together like this because when we click edit, we're not dealing with this input val, right? It will always remain as basically. So yeah, so we just needed to keep it separate.
What we use today is what was the use reduce?
Yes. Use reducer.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, right here. What was the question, Aziza?
Okay, use reducer. Okay, this is the use reducer we did to do within use reducer, but we also use the use state.
Yeah, so in here we had to use input value state.
Okay, I understand. Okay.
I just don't want to put this, right? I just don't want to put this input val into the state right here like this. Okay, I just don't want to put this input val initially it's empty or something like that. Because actually we cannot do that because we have to somehow keep the text over here, right? This text is coming for individual single to do, and we have to keep this text as an initial value for individual items.
Okay.
What else do we have?
Clear, completed to this. Can you
Let's
click to the check for the checkbox? It's gonna like the вычеркнуть that word. No? How did it do it? Like when you click to the checkbox, the text should be like how it's in English, вычеркнутый.
the text for
Like the
okay, so
line through.
Зачеркнутый.
okay, that's done based on the completed right here, right? So it is going to be for
Oh,
this guy right here, right? So for this guy, we have to put some sort of a custom class for that one. Okay. So what we can do here is
I thought
basically
it's kind of like related with oh yeah, it's related with CSS, right?
yes, it's related to CSS styling. Yes. I'm not sure if I have
Line through. You can have a line through.
Cross.
cross. Okay, that's the cross. So that custom class we have to generate right over here. Constant custom class is equal to based on the completed. If it is completed, then use cross. If it's not, then maybe empty. Okay.
Custom class should be destructured in the prop.
No, the custom class we don't need. No, custom class.
Where did
No,
you write
this-
the custom class?
Oh, custom class is just a string that we put it right here as a class name.
Just create a variable and put the comparing there.
In your CSS, you guess we have the uppercase.
CSS we have cross.
Uppercase and
Uppercase we don't need that actually. Yeah, there's no need for that, right? So
basically you can do without creating new variable, like do
Just
the
in
logic.
oh yeah,
inside.
of course, yeah. I mean, just to bring this guy the whole thing. Yeah, instead of creating this guy right here, just put it right here.
Oh,
Complete it.
it's about that. No, he's right. You need to change.
Oh, I
that.
thought. Yeah. So I just have to delete this guy right here. Yeah. So
Nice.
cool.
Why is it the small this to do has a lot of code?
I know, very small project, but it has a lot of code.
Now
Yeah.
I understand this kind of like Amazon and Facebook. That's why they have like thousands of the people that working there.
Yeah.
And was have so much high salary.
Why do you think? Yeah, I didn't think they pay so much high salary. Yep. That is exactly right, guys. Cool. Where is my console? I made a console logs. Cool. What we can do here is clear all to-dos, clear completed to-dos. Clear all to-dos, we already did it, right? Yep. Now we need to work on clear completed to-dos. If I complete these two guys, it should be gone.
So instead of deleting each, you can just complete like choose it and then click all of them, right?
That's the whole idea. Yep. So let me add one more, T4. Okay. These guys right here, the ones that are completed, as soon as I click these guys, it will be deleting these T1 and T3. Cool. So that button over here is clear completed to-dos. And we said clear completed to-dos. We're good to go, right? So when it comes to the custom, clear completed to this right here. All right, so
New state.
yes, absolutely. So since we're going to be dealing with new state, we have objects. Somehow I need to loop through. Okay, so how about our entries? Object.entries. We did have over here, right? Object.entries. Okay. Right over here. Object.entries instead of state, new state.todos. And we said that this one will generate. Okay.
Filter.
We can definitely filter
You
out.
put it true or false.
Okay. So in this case,
Can we filter the object directly? No, right?
well, the thing is that Maksad, the thing is that it will, right? It will. I think we have to do. I think we have to do. Well, we definitely need to do new state that to dos. Okay, and from here we need to do for each.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for each, we have what key and value. Okay, we have key and value, and for this key and value, let's just console.log. Okay, so, console.log key. Yep, as you guys can see, the key is the ID and the value is individual texts, right? So in here, right over here, if value that completed, if it is true, then I can say delete new state that to dos with the key. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
And we'll just return new state.
Invoice. Much easier. Where we that
If I click this clear completed, now I have T2 and T4. That's it.
Why with the key?
What?
Why with the key?
ID
Yeah, it's an ID.
to understand which one
Oh,
we
Right? Object.entries, as we said, will return an array of arrays. Okay, array of arrays. And the first item is key, basically the ID. And the second item is the value itself. The value is an object, individual state object right here, individual object. The key is the ID, and the value is individual object. So we just need to do for each. If you do filter, right? If you do filter, filter will return a new array, but we don't have to deal with the array. We still need to deal with the same object. Okay.
Oh, a question that for each ID value is creating. I thought it's gonna be that object that entries. I thought it's gonna be create array of objects.
Yep. No.
Array.
Object of interest will create array of arrays. Okay, array of arrays. So now
Value that
this
complete.
individual array will contain ID and value.
But how you like if it's array of arrays, you are like actually using delete new state to just like delete for
Because I'm
the
doing for each. For
okay.
each, we just loop through it. That's it. For each does not return anything, right? For each, we'll just loop through it. I'm just basically looping through it, like running a for loop.
Okay.
Okay,
But
so
it's
same thing,
create
guys.
the
Constant.
array of arrays.
new array is equal to object.entries. Okay, and now in here, for let key value of new array, and right over here, I'm doing this one right here.
Yes.
No,
No.
this guy right here, I have to put it right here. So now, okay, so where's my object.entries? Let me comment this one out for now. I'm missing another curly braces? Yes. So same thing. New array, object.entries, new state to-dos. Right? This new array is array of arrays.
Mhm.
Also the fact that object.entries. Now I'm just looping through this new array for let key, or in this case ID, right? It's individual item. Individual item is basically this guy right here, array. Let ID value of new array. If value that completed, then delete new state that to-dos. New state is from here. New state to-dos ID is coming from here. That's it. It's the exact same.
About you are using the delete new state to this ID. This is the thing that we are using for the objects. Oh, I got you. That new state. Oh, the line. Okay. This one is okay. Okay. If value that completed. Okay. 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 So actually, the
Because new
is it
state object. Huh?
we need that whole thing just to get the correct ID. To do it right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. You just need to grab the whole the correct ID based on this if else statement. But we have to loop through this new array.
Okay.
Any questions, guys?
No.
David, you good?
Oh yeah, now we don't have it homework, guys.
Oh
but,
my,
please,
8
can you?
o'clock. 8 o'clock.
I will send you my homework to you, so you will do it.
We don't have any homework.
Yeah, I think we're good, right? So T1, T2. Yeah, I do have homework for you guys related to this one.
Okay.
Right? So if I click T2 and T3 and click complete it, yep, T1 and T4 is left. T2 and T3 is gone. So you either you can use this one or you can just use regular for loop. My homework to you guys. I'm still recording. Okay, I thought I forgot to record it. My homework to you guys to implement local storage. Right? Somehow, every time I'm adding new to do basically right here, it's gonna be very easy, right? So constant update local storage is going to be a function that will get new state basically and local storage that's set item.
You actually done what?
I'm just doing it for you guys. Actually, we're gonna be sending the to-dos only, right? To-dos and to-dos. Now update local storage is right here. Update local storage, but in this case, I'm not sending the whole new state. I will be selecting the to-dos from it.
Mm.
Right? So refresh the page. Oh, okay. So
Get item.
so in here, for my initial state, I need to grab it from local storage, right? So it's gonna be JSON that parse local storage that get item.
I'm always confusing between the parse and stingify. Which one was it? Like,
Okay, if I have something in the to-dos, then I will grab and parse it. But if I don't have anything, then I just need to
not array.
just empty array. Oh, sorry, object. Sorry, name object. Since we are dealing with the object. Same thing with this one right here. So when we are passing it, we have to do what? Oh, you know what? Just bring it back. I have to pass it as JSON.stringify. Save it. Refresh the page. So basically, it's grabbing it right now. Okay. So T1, add to do. T2, add to do. T3, add to do. Let's check our application and local storage. Right here, to-dos. I have multiple of them. Since I added 3 of them right here, it's all of them are here. So if I refresh the page, as you guys can see, it's consistent right now. Persistent, sorry. Refresh the page.
I have homework.
The homework is to apply for each individual cases, right? Edit to do, same thing. Delete to do is same thing. You just need to update. You just need to run this update local storage for individual cases because we are definitely updating our to-dos.
Okay.
But in here, right here, if I delete to do, it's not my local storage is not updated, and if I refresh it back, it will bring it back. Because I'm not updating my local storage. Cool.
So what's the homework now?
The homework, just like I said, Aziza, update local storage is working only for this case right here.
Oh, okay.
You guys need to put this update local storage for individual cases. Edit to do is the same thing, right? It's the
Okay.
same. Actually, edit to do it doesn't have to do anything with the update local storage, but this guy right here definitely has something to do. This guy right here, yes. This guy, yes. Clear all? No. Yes, it does actually, yes. So we have to basically send out empty object. And this guy is definitely yes. Okay, that's it for today, guys. It's 8:05. I will send the latest code as the demo project that
Now,
we did.
please, can you send both from custom, single, FGS?
The last question, Azamat. When I
Yes.
when I did the Git copy from the GitHub, and
Mhm.
then when I did the npm run that is not working. How should I do this?
You have to pass node modules and install the mod.
npmi, yes, npmi. I have to do npm install first.
Yeah, I did npm as well, and then I did npm run. It's not working.
Is it the Vite project?
Yeah, it's the same. I just git cloned from your
Let's see it. Let's see it. Let's see it. It should work. I don't know what's the problem though. Let's
yes,
see it real quick.
Maybe you installed outside of your.
let me check out this one.
Uh-huh.
This React tab, right?
Yes.
So now here, what should I do? Git sorry. I need npm install, right? Like
To
this?
do React App Starter. Is that the one that I gave you?
Okay, I'm pressing. To do this track, this is what I'm looking now.
Can you do PWD first?
PWD.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, to do this track, app starter.
Is
This
that the same thing?
what I got from you.
Okay, so you are using Mac, right? Can you just remove the terminal first? Just click the X. Yes. Can you do control backtick?
Control backtick.
Yes. Cool. Yep, you are right at the corner. Yep. So you already did npmi, right? How about you do rm space dash rf?
RM
Yep, space dash rf.
dash RF.
Remove the node modules. Space node modules.
Looks like
Click,
he's.
click tab. Click tab. Okay, space package dash lock. Just click tab. Click tab.
Like this.
And then put dash. Yeah, put dash and click tab. No. Put dash. There's no space. Then put dash and click tab.
What?
Dash. Not slash. Dash. Tire. Yeah. Yep. Enter. Cool. So now npmi. Do it again. npmi.
He's outside of.
No, it's running right now.
I mean, he's
npm run dev. npm run dev. Yeah, it's working.
So you are creating now?
Yeah, it's working.
But I didn't know about this one.
No, I don't think it was related to that one. I'm not sure why it didn't work, but yeah, so it should be good now.
When I
Awesome.
did
You
npm
cloning
out,
to
I got the message that I need to do some audit, like do the npm audit. Okay.
I'm not sure why it did that. What was your thing, David? You said he's outside what?
Outside of what?
Sometime when you open your VS Code, you're outside of your file. Like,
No, we tested it out. I'm here. To-do list, React app
yeah,
starter.
but sometimes you it happens to me. I creating like npm I outside of that file in my.
Yeah, it does. In that case, it doesn't work. Yes.
I
When
just
you
clone.
here, yeah, just make sure that you are in the right folder before you run npmi. That's the only thing.
Maksat,
Mm.
you are cloning this from Azamat, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
Azamat, you have this sorry, the code today. Have you already
I will not push to this one, right? This will remain as my starter code. What I will do is that I will create a new separate
Like-
Mhm.
as a demo. Okay, so I will push it to there.
Okay.
So it's gonna be
Mhm.
new.
And
Cool.
can you please share in the Slack when you
The-
create your new repo?
Yes,
Thank
demo 24/7. Okay, so to-do list React app with demo 24/7. Oh my goodness, come on. Oh, public readme create repository. All right, so it's gonna be
Oh, hi, Azamat. I become very tired after your class.
Oh, don't say that.
Oh, too much information I get from you.
No, are
No.
we gonna like solve that problem with the recursive function next time?
Oh yeah, good, yeah. The files and the folders. Yep, I would like to do that with you guys. Yeah. At the same time, I had a different project, but yeah, this
Azamat,
this is what we are going to do, and this is the project that we are going to do. Maybe two projects.
Cool. Cool.
This is actually a very interesting project. I think I was the only guy who did this one when I was doing my cohort.
Mm.
Azamat, we are gonna learn more hooks or it's finished? I hope it's
No, there's gonna be very interesting
Infinite.
hooks.
Infinite hooks.
Yes, use infinite hook. So we're gonna learn about this. So yeah, no, it's gonna be use context. Okay, it's one of my favorite ones. Context API is actually is equal to
I'm
use context.
waiting for the calculator. I want to create the calculator.
Calculator, yeah. Yeah, this one is really interesting, right? So up until now, what we did was we're passing everything down like this. Okay. And as we start learning about the context API and React Redux, we will not be passing down our props down to our child components. We're gonna have a state in one place, and each individual component needs it. They will just pull it out with a single like this. With a single line of code, we'll pull out the state from different places, but nothing will be passed down as a props.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's cool. We just put everything inside the one thing and
Yes. So if FJS needs it over here, we'll just pull it out. If single to do needs over here, we'll just
like a
pull it out
backpack.
like that.
You have a backpack and what you need, you will just take it from the backpack.
Exactly. Yes. Yep. Up until now, as we said, we had to pass it down as a props. But in context API or Redux, we're gonna have a state over here in its own file. If this counter needs a state, it will grab it from here. If this child component is a state, it will grab it from here. Grab it from here, like this. If I need to update it, I'll just directly update it like this. So basically, React Redux works just like what we have used reducer. Okay, it's pretty much a very similar logic. Dispatching. We will work with the dispatch in Redux too. The same logic. Just don't forget these guys. These guys are here, right? When we come to the Redux, don't say that. Oh, I already forget it. Don't say that, right?
Okay.
All right, Maksat. Oh, I already forget it.
Oh, I'm gonna do the to-do list again with a use reducer, like from the bottom, from the scratch.
Yeah, definitely do that. Highly recommended. Okay. Actually, I don't need this guy because it's already main.
Sorry, Matt, I need to go. Thank you so much for the class.
Absolutely, guys. See you next time. I will just share the link with you guys. Bye.
Thank you.
All right. Oh.